Now today Oppo have sent me out the Oppo A79 5G to review, and I'm happy to do so. This is a $300 phone roughly, and is it available in most retailers, also on Amazon and through the Oppo website as well. Links down below if you want to check it out. Now if you've already got this and you're just tuning in to see what I think about it, then I will also be doing another video on the top 10 settings to change for the Oppo A79 5G as well, because there's some little tips and tricks in this phone that I think aren't apparent to everyone, so that's why I'm going to do that video. And it might apply to other Oppo devices as well, depending on the software in other Oppo devices. Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the Oppo A79. Now the first thing I do want to discuss, and that's the color. Woo, this looks good. Now I do have to check my notes because I can't remember the marketing terms for all these products and all the stuff that they say about them. But okay, they're saying that they're vibrant colors on the Oppo website, and I'd have to say that the blue one is definitely very vibrant. Have a look at this. I think it looks pretty awesome, and it is called glowing green. You know, I'm just like a one-trick pony when it comes to colors, and to me it just looks blue. And there could be 5 million shades of blue, and I'm still going to say it's blue, not mystic green. But anyway, I really like the look of this. It has what they're calling a bit of a bird feather effect as well, and I like that. It looks different, it looks appealing, and it's just out of the ordinary, you know, so I do like that. And the design on this, that feather approach, looks nice. I like it. Now in typical Oppo fashion, they do deliver Super VOOC fast charging, 33 watt fast charging. But I have a huge gripe with Oppo now. Look at this box. It's really thin, which could only mean one thing. They don't even put charging bricks in the box anymore. So Oppo have bowed down to their competitors and said, let's rip off the customers just as much as everyone else. Which is their prerogative, I get it. But what the hell is the point of Super VOOC fast charging if you don't get a Super VOOC brick? Remember it used to be the cables? Has anyone got a cable? Has anyone got an Apple cable? Has anyone got an Android cable? A micro USB cable? Well, now we're going to be back to, has anyone got a charging brick? And everyone's going to have like a shit ton of cables. I'm ranting. And you will get 50% charged in 33 minutes, which is pretty impressive. And I think in a 5-minute charge, you get like nearly 3 hours of phone call use out of just 5 minutes of charging. So I've always thought that Oppo stand above the rest when it comes to charging and battery life. And as you can see in the settings here, on the current usage, I would get nearly 2 days use out of this. And I'm a pretty heavy user. I think if you're a light user, you're going to look at 3 days use, especially if you have some of those settings dialed down. Now for the purpose of filming the B-roll, I had the screen up to max brightness. That is going to reduce the battery a little bit quicker, but we've got pretty good battery life here. Now with battery life comes battery management, or device power management if you like, and in my opinion what's included in that is good software and decent hardware that doesn't drain all your power. And I think we got a balance there. We are only rocking 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that was noticeable at times when I was using the device. It just seemed to bog it down. I think if we upped it to 6, we'd probably be in a better place. But it's still usable. As you can see, I was gaming it, I was scrolling Google feed with it, you know, scrolling social media. It got by with a stutter here and there. But I was impressed with the gaming. It definitely did better than I thought it was going to. And look, for consuming content, it's got dual speakers. So when you're watching YouTube or Netflix or something in landscape mode, it's going to have a really nice surround sound effect coming out of the speakers. That's a plus as well. I'm really happy with that. But we do actually have, with that 4 gigabytes of RAM, we have the MediaTek Dimensity 6020, which is a low-end chipset, but it's got enough juice in it, enough power in it to get through some pretty decent tasks. And I was doing a little bit of photo editing, and I did notice that when I was using the camera, it's doing that AI photography, and it had enough power in that chipset and the RAM to get through that without the camera app shutting down. So that's important if you're going to use the camera for that AI stuff. So digressing, but going back to performance and battery power management, I think we've got a bit of a win-win here. You've got enough power to get you through without actually sucking all your battery life. So you're going to be able to get 2 to 3 days use out of it. And like you can see, Asphalt 9, it handled really well. There's a stutter here and there, but not enough to make you lose the game and not enough to be really noticeable. So I'm impressed with the way it did handle these tasks. Now it does have a full HD plus sunlight display, which I think is just marketing terms because it's only 680 nits peak brightness. Flagships are like 2400 peak brightness, so you're nowhere near that level. But like, I'm using it in the house, I'm using it under direct sunlight, I'm using it and it's usable. You know, it's not as bright as like flagships, whatever, but it is usable in the sunlight and in bright lights indoors as well. And like I said, full HD plus resolution, and there is an option there to go smooth scrolling or fast scrolling, and I chose fast. I'm always going to choose fast. I think these phones should be on maximum settings to get the most out of them for what they're saying that they can do in the marketing. Now, going back to the build, I do like the way the edges are like at right angles. It seems like a flat display with right angles on the edges, and it looks nice. It's well machined, well chamfered if you like. I think it looks quite stylish. I think the phone looks like it's worth more than it actually is. The camera hump on the back is very typical of the camera humps of today, so it's not anything special there or anything different. And I think there's a couple of things that I like about this at the price point as well. It is IPX4 water resistant, which means you can get a splash of water on it. The X means it's not tested for dust. The 4 means it's splash proof, basically. But that's good for $300, splash proof. Now there is a lot of extra apps installed on this. ColorOS is there in its true form, and I do like ColorOS, but I don't like all these extra apps installed, and there's a lot of games as well. But I have gone through and uninstalled a lot of them, and you can uninstall them, which is good. You can also theme your phone to make it very unique to you as well. Most phone manufacturers provide that option, except for Apple, but everyone else does, so that's nice to have as well. And one quick feature that I do love is double tap to put the phone to sleep and double tap to wake up. So when I'm using Face Unlock, I just double tap the screen and swipe up and it is unlocked. So quick, so much quicker than the fingerprint scanner. I don't even set up the fingerprint scanner on these low-end phones anymore. If they're at the side of the device, if they're in display, I do. That's convenient, but on the side, it's just horrendous. But the Face Unlock here is very fast. So I would use that before anything else, and then after that I would use a pattern or pin unlock and just bypass that fingerprint scanner. It does also have a headphone jack, which is pretty awesome. I love headphone jacks. I think they should be in every phone. I mean, if we can get it in a $300 phone, why can't we get it in a $2,000 phone? Volume rocker on the side, power button underneath it, pretty typical there. Now I'm just going to jump outside to do the photography part, and I'm going to use this to record it. I'm not taking any fancy cameras with me. I might take the audio because it's a bit windy. I'll take the microphone. So let's go outside now and do some videos and photos with it, and then that should just about wrap it up. Okay, the first video settings I'm testing out is the front-facing camera. This is the Oppo A79 5G. And the front-facing camera is a 8 megapixel front-facing camera. 1080p, that's as good as it gets on both cameras, front and rear. But the rear-facing one is a 50 megapixel camera. So definitely something to consider. Like 1080p is good enough, but I don't know if you're going to be happy with it. A lot of phones these days are 4K. So this is it. There you go. I just got blown out then by the sun hitting my face. This is like 6 p.m. as well. So we're in what I would say is nearly golden hour. When I'm in the shade, the image looks awesome. As soon as the sunlight hits me, it looks pretty bad. And I don't think there's too much stabilization going on either. But this is 1080p, 8 megapixels, A79. And now we're going to switch to the rear-facing camera. Okay, here we are on the Oppo A79 5G rear-facing camera. It is a 50 megapixel camera. sensor, and it's only 1080p, so this is as good as it's going to get. Now, I'm not on a gimbal or anything, this is just purely what you're going to get out of camera. I am holding a tripod, but it's not stabilized in any way. So think about that, what you think of this footage. It is also now complete golden hour, the sunset over there. You're just dealing with the light bouncing off the atmosphere right now. It is no harsh light. I did get some harsh light before. It does look a bit rough, but it's a $300 phone, and I don't think you're going to get much better or much worse from any of the competitors at this price point. Now for the photography, it has the AI features built in, which means you can adjust your image in camera before you take the photo. So you can make your face thinner, you can make your skin smoother, you can make your eyes bigger, you can pretty much K-pop yourself into oblivion, or you can turn all those settings off and just take a pretty standard image. They focus a lot on selfies with this camera, so that's a big talking point for it, and it does a fairly good job. Now for other photos like landscapes, you are going to get just a pretty standard sort of shot, probably over sharpened, very digital looking, oversaturated, pretty standard smartphone look. So let me know what you think of the photos. I'm going to do a bit of a montage right about now. Now the image is pretty blown out, like I look good in the shadows, but the sky is still blown out, and this is golden hour, so you really are getting like, it is a bare bones camera. But like I always say, you know, when I do these cheap phone reviews, you're getting your money's worth. You're getting $300 worth of video, you're getting $300 worth of chipset, you're getting $300 worth of software, you're getting $300 worth of camera. So it is what it is, but it still does the trick, you know. If you're dropping 300 on a phone, you're not looking for 4K 120. Alrighty, catch you later. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it. Catch you later.